kiss my ass.
More people have died under COVID this year, by the way, under Joe Biden, than under you. And more people took the vaccine this year. So people are questioning how...
Well, no, the vaccine worked, but some people aren't taking it. The ones that get very sick and go to the hospital are the ones that don't take the vaccine. But it's still their choice. And if you take the vaccine, you're protected. Look, the results of the vaccine are very good. And if you do get it, it's a very minor form. The vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel. We are going to have a politics and BS conversation, and this is going to be about Candace Owens and an interview that she did recently with former President Trump, which has gotten a lot of interest because former president, he actually was defending the inoculations, whatever you want to call them. He was defending it. And what I saw when I watched this portion that I could watch, because I just can't really listen to her. It's just a lot of things that she says, I believe, are for grifting purposes. And I'm not saying that she never says anything that is true or accurate, but she plays to a particular audience. She plays into the narrative, and it is all for her gain, period. It's all for her gain. And that's why I believe it is really dangerous. And I don't know. I don't know what the appeal and the interest is, but it's very sad. And I do believe that this situation with the eagle is extremely dangerous because, one, she's not a good interviewer. A true interviewer and journalist, they're not a whole lot of good interviewers, period. It really does take skill. It really does. And when you're interviewing someone, yes, you should ask the tough questions, but when you are asking questions with the goal of getting them to say what you want them to say so that they can agree with you, then you're not really interviewing them. And in that interview that she did with the former president, she wasn't. She wanted him to say what she wanted him to say. Now, let's be clear. Even though the interview clips have gone viral, I don't believe she really cares either way, because she strikes me as one of those people that whether you're talking bad or good about me, you're talking about me. So it's like that thing of, you know, if you're talking about me, then I must be important. I must be famous. Like, I would hear people say things like that over the years and growing up. Well, if they're talking about me, then that makes me feel important. That makes me feel famous. It doesn't matter if they're saying anything bad or good about me. So she doesn't really care. She has a troll-like spirit. And so she loves to go back and forth with people, especially those that don't agree with her. I just don't have the energy. I'm not that type of person to go back and forth with anybody. I just say you're right before I would go back and forth with you, because it's just a waste of time. But the danger of the ego that she has is the fact that this is something that if she does not play her cards right and is a bit more careful, whether people are successful or not, there could be people that could try to sue this woman for causing damage, causing even death in people's families, because right now there are a lot of people who are hanging on to every word that comes from people like herself who are against the inoculation. Because I am not here to say people should get it or shouldn't get it. I'm not even here to talk about that. But what I am saying is, because she has put herself in this place of dangerously making herself some sort of authority based on information that she gets from different websites on the internet about different things that people can do to keep themselves uninfected, or her basically claiming that, well, she's never gotten the inoculation and she's never been infected either. It's just really dangerous, because there are a lot of people, of course, who don't want to get sick And there are a lot of people who do not want to get the inoculation, whether they're mandated to do it or not, just because they have some skepticism about it. And people have the right to feel the way that they feel. I get that. We're in dangerous times right now, and it's scary for a lot of people. But when she has made herself to be this authoritative person who is out here putting themselves in a position of saying you should do this or you shouldn't do that, and then when people listen to that and it doesn't work out for them, there are some people who would take the measures of going to seek counsel, legal counsel, and there may be an attorney somewhere in this country that would say, yeah, you know what? Your family does have the right. Let's file suit against Candace Owens for causing death to your loved one because you have proof that this person was hanging on to every word that she was out here sharing about this inoculation and about this pandemic. There really are. We live in the Sue SA. I say that all the time. I was a legal assistant for over 12 years. And I know, I get it. It's one of the things that I hated about the legal field is because people don't really take personal responsibility a lot of times. And if there's an opportunity for others to sue others to try to hold other people responsible and get money for things that happen, whether it was deserved or not, they will do it. And so when she interviewed former president, she was really goading him in a way to say the things that she wanted him to say, and he shot her down. He says, I came up with 3 vaccines. All are very, very good. Came up with 3 of them in less than 9 months. It was supposed to take 5 to 12 years. Now, it's questionable whether he came up with them because I don't believe he was in the lab and doing any research, doing an investigating or whatever. Did he have the authority to streamline things and fund things and give companies the resources that they needed in order to speed things up? Absolutely. Sure. But then she says, and yet more people have died under COVID this year, by the way, under Joe Biden than under you, and more people took the vaccine this year. So she says, so people are questioning. And he says, oh no, the vaccine worked, but some people aren't taking it. He interrupted her. He says the ones that got very sick and go to the hospital are the ones that don't take the vaccine, but it's still their choice. And if you take the vaccine, you're protected. The results of the vaccine are very good. And if you do get COVID, it's a very minor form. People aren't dying when they take the vaccine. And the look on her face was of astonishment. And I could tell she really wanted to interrupt him, but he shot her down. She didn't really have a choice. So she had to go from that to switching to something completely different, talking about masking and masking children. And then saying, you know, that it's like China. But it's like, But yeah, she switched to a topic that she felt like she could get him to agree with her on because she didn't want to look like an idiot and she didn't want to look like he was shooting her down, which he did. But she didn't want it to stay in that space for too long. So after the fact, then she comes out to defend her questioning and also to switch the narrative and say that he is, you know, because of who he is, and basically saying because he's too old. And then she said in an Instagram video, people oftentimes forget like how old Trump is. Like they came from a time before TV, before internet, before being able to conduct their independent research. She says everything that Trump's generation read in a newspaper that was pitched to them, that they believed that was a reality. And one of those things was, you know, this push for vaccines and believing that people were going to die without vaccines. And so I believe that this support of the vaccine is genuine and it's not based on any corruption at all. And then she goes on to insult him by saying, believe it or not, I do not believe that Trump reads or partakes in any other news sources. I don't believe that Trump is on the internet or that he necessarily uses the web to try to find obscure websites. I think that he just relies on typical mainstream sources. So I don't think that there's anything evil going on there. But he needs to have a larger conversation to really understand what's going on and why so many people are just horrified. Well, look, I'm not getting into all of the things about the inoculation. I'm just not here for that. But it's really hypocritical for her to say this about him, because she's basically saying he's an idiot, he doesn't read, and then she's saying something that it's also the opposite of what he has said, because he has consistently called mainstream media fake news. So by her saying that he only listens to mainstream media, she's basically calling him a liar, because he's always touted fake news, the lamestream media. So you're basically saying that he listens to and reads the mainstream or lamestream media, as he's called it, and the fake news. You're basically saying he's a liar and a hypocrite. And the reason being is because she has a huge ego, and the ego is all about the dollars. What she is doing, it is pretty much a huge grift, and that is the danger of this ego that she has. Because now, just as recent as yesterday, just as recent, she has been promoting a supplement that reportedly has some hidden dangers and potential of turning people's skin blue. Now, I know there are a lot of people out here that are telling people about different vitamins and supplements and things to boost your immunity and things to, to heighten your health so that you can help to stave off any possible infections and things like that. But she has to be careful, being one who is in a position like she is, promoting these things, because one, even those companies that promote their vitamins and their supplements, they have to make these statements saying that these are not FDA approved, and they have the statements on their products about that, because legally, due to US standards, they're not allowed to say that these things are cures or that they prevent or whatever, even though they can give the benefits of taking these supplements and these things like that. They can't legally say that these things can do this and can do that. And because of the position that she is in, she's setting herself up for possible lawsuits if things happen to people who say, I took Candace Owens' advice and I took colloidal silver to stave off illnesses, and it's basically, reported that colloidal silver, according to the Mayo Clinic, can cause seizure or organ problems. That's very dangerous. When she's making these statements on her social media account, she's not putting a big stamp of, I'm sharing with you something that I have been taking to help stave off illness, but these things are not FDA approved, and this is, up to you whether you choose to take these or not. I do not bear any responsibility for anything that may happen to you if you choose to follow my recommendations of things that I say that I'm using. This is up to you. She's not doing that. She said it in a video. She said, yes, colloidal silver. I take colloidal silver every single day. I love colloidal silver. That is a great one. That is another one that people probably know nothing about. She's not sharing the health risks. She's not sharing that, these things are not FDA approved. These things are not things that the CDC has said you should be taking to help prevent infection from COVID or any of the variants. She's not putting these claims out there. So look, it's clear that the interview that she had with the former president, it didn't go the way that she was hoping and the way that she was expecting because of her ego. This is why she comes out later with statements just pretty much questioning his mindset, his intelligence, his intellectualism. She says he doesn't really read. He only pays attention to mainstream media, and she pretty much called him a liar because she says that he pays attention to mainstream media, but he says that he doesn't, and he calls it all the lamestream media and fake news. So like, which one is it? It's such a huge flip-flop, but because of her ego, it won't allow her to just step back and say, you know what, I may not agree with what he said, but this is what he said, so it's up to you to take that information for all it's worth and use it for yourself and for your family. But I'm not getting involved in it. But no, she takes it further by going on to share other remedies of things that will help to keep you well, and so that you won't get sick or get infected, or if you do, then this is how you cure it. It's really dangerous. And I think she's setting herself up for more lawsuits in the future. I could be wrong, but those are just my thoughts, just being beautifully honest about it. So you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
Kiss my ass.